The great way is universal. It can apply to the left or the right. All beings depend on it for life. Even so, it does not take possession of them. It accomplishes its purpose, but makes no claim for itself. It covers all creatures like the sky, but does not dominate them. All things return to it as to their home, but it does not lord it over them. Thus, it may be called great. The sage imitates this conduct. By not claiming greatness, the sage achieves greatness. When I look for it, there is nothing to see. When I listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When I use it, it cannot be exhausted. This is the great Tao. All men will come to him who keeps the one. They flock to him and receive no harm. For in him they find peace, security, and happiness. Music and dining are passing pleasures, yet they cause people to stop. How bland and insipid are the things of this world when one compares them to the Tao. When you look for it, there is nothing to see. When you listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When you use it, it cannot be exhausted. Should you want to contain something, you must deliberately let it expand. Should you want to weaken something, you must deliberately let it grow strong. Should you want to eliminate something, you must deliberately allow it to flourish. Should you want to take something away, you must deliberately grant it access. The lesson here is called the wisdom of obscurity. The gentle outlast the strong. The obscure outlast the obvious. Fish cannot leave deep waters, and a country's weapons should not be displayed. The Tao does nothing, but leaves nothing undone. If powerful men could center themselves in it, the whole world would be transformed by itself in its natural rhythms. When life is simple, pretenses fall away. Our essential natures shine through. By not wanting, there is calm, and the world will straighten itself. When there is silence, one finds the anchor of the universe within oneself. A truly good man is not aware of his goodness and is therefore good. A foolish man tries to be good and is therefore not good. The master does nothing, yet he leaves nothing undone. The ordinary man is always doing things, yet many more are left to be done. The highest virtue is to act without a sense of self. The highest kindness is to give without condition. The highest justice is to see without preference. When the Tao is lost, there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual. Ritual is the husk of true faith, the beginning of chaos. The great master follows his own nature and not the trappings of life. It is said, he stays with the fruit and not the fluff. He stays with the firm and not the flimsy. He stays with the true and not the false. These things from ancient times arise from one. The sky is whole and clear. The earth is whole and firm. The spirit is whole and full. The 10,000 things are whole, and the country is upright. All these are in virtue of wholeness. When man interferes with the Tao, the sky becomes filthy, the earth becomes depleted, the equilibrium crumbles, creatures become extinct. Therefore, nobility is rooted in humility. Loftiness is based on lowliness. This is why noble people refer to themselves as alone, lacking, and unworthy. The places of a chariot are useless unless they work in accordance with the whole. A man's life brings nothing unless he lives in accordance with the whole universe. Playing one's part in accordance with the universe is true humility. Truly, too much honor means no honor. It is not wise to shine like jade and resound like stone chimes. Returning is the motion of the Tao. Yielding is the way of the Tao. The 10,000 things are born of being. Being is born of non-being. It is an awesome task to carry light. It is time for all of you to redefine your own identities in a much greater sense. Events are transpiring in the cosmos that you and even many of your political leaders have no idea of. You must stop this foolishness about your definitions of gods, thinking that there are beings who come from the skies to this planet with special talents and abilities, and then they are all spiritually connected. You are going to discover as a species some very disturbing ideas over the next number of years. We are preparing you by decree of the family of light so that you can understand and be informed about your own options. We have stressed with you this idea of multi-dimensionality, the concept that you can be in many places and can shift your consciousness. We have shared with you the idea that there will be a number of worlds created out of this earth. At one time or another, you will come to doubt everything we have shared with you. Your system will be shocked, and you will not want to believe the extent to which you have been uninformed. So you will deny the validity of our information for a time. We can only offer you information based upon your own acceleration. You must evolve yourselves and have your wits about you to ask for information, because there is a divine law concerning interference. There are many who have broken that law and interfered with Earth. Even those in our own ancestral realm have done so. We have said to you often enough that this is a free will universe and a free will zone, so that, of course, the underlying theme is that all is allowed. Therefore, there are always those who wish to be the lords and masters and authorities over others. You have been too simplistic about how many beings control others here. The family of light has been noted for its penchant or predilection for creating societies in which there is a tremendous movement in all directions along the light rays. What does this mean? Light is information, so the family of light is the family of information. There are consciousnesses, families of war, that spend perhaps billions of years in your concept of time, studying, promoting, and experiencing control over consciousness. In a universe that exists outside of the limitation of time, all scenarios within a free will zone get played out. This is a time for you to radically change your views about yourself and to break down boundaries. It is time for you to rise out of the pettiness of day-to-day dramas and events and begin to connect on a cosmic level with the higher drama that is occurring. In this way, you can be better informed about your own intentions, purposes, and drama. You must be able to understand both your identity and your ability to ride your identity into any world you choose. This story of the family of light as we like to call it, is who you are. You have committed to do a certain task, to be on assignment, and to remember and fulfill what you came here to do. We have told you that your worlds and your identity within them are going to change drastically, and you are coming closer to those times. You have had changes, many of you. If you look back to see who you were 1 year ago, ideally, each of you will see that you are now much more empowered. Ideally, each of you is beginning to feel that you do, in every instant, create your own reality, and that every situation you experience, whether you are employed or unemployed, is by your own design. At this time, ideally, each and every one of you has the art of manifestation down, because it is now time for you to pull the cosmic grid work of information into your body and plug it into your psyche so that you can become a broadcaster of this data upon the planet. This is the grid work that is fired by the light encoded filaments outside of your body. You must become much more discerning about what and who is coming from the skies, because you are going to be duped and tricked, and you are not going to understand it. We see this because we ourselves know how easy it is to dupe and trick you. Sometimes we do it to you to move you along. We told you that we have already been very tricky with you. This was necessary because if we told you the whole story, many of you would have turned tail and run a long time ago. Ideally, we have installed confidence in you. We have also installed in you a new codicil of information so that you can take the basic building blocks of this system, the concept that you create yourselves, that you create your reality by your thoughts, and formulate a world designed by the family of light. In this way, a plan and new grid work can overlay a portion of this earth so that a completely new probability can burst forward. Without you and the new probability that you are bringing, there is potential for a great cosmic war here upon Earth at some time. Reach out with your feeling center and feel the confusion that is spreading around this world about what is going on. This planet has operated on a very low frequency, a frequency based on survival, and a frequency based on disempowerment. Your identity has been based on what you could gather outside of yourself. The 12 helixes will render irrelevant everything that has been represented and surrounded the 2 helixes. All of the money saved and property owned, all of the security based on the first 2 helixes that provides you with identity. is coming completely irrelevant to the evolution of the planet. Feel the fear and uncertainty running through the lives of humans as they begin to realize that the way their lives have been defined is now crumbling. Realize that light is the culprit of this crumbling, and that you, as members of the family of light and keepers of frequency, are causing this crumbling to take place because you carry the electromagnetic charge onto the planet that broadcasts the new frequency. You help create this chaos of new consciousness. Think back over your lives for the last year or two and realize that there have been times when you yourselves have been in an incredible chaos of consciousness. You have been in a chaos of decisions about who you are, where you want to live, who you want to mate with, whether you want to stay mated or not, whether you want to have a child or not, whether you want to continue to be a parent, and many other things. Reach your minds out into your communities and feel how the foundation that people have based their lives on is slowly slipping away to rubble. The global grasp of reality is going, gone. The foundation is sliding away, and there are those who cannot see the slide at this time. The most significant reason for this slide is that there is new information accessible that makes the old information archaic and decrepit, and you are responsible for this. So you are responsible to a certain extent for evolving yourselves through this and for being your own forms of inspiration, for being living examples for others. You take a very active role. There are many who say, "Oh no, here comes the light," because light is known to alter every vibrational frequency that it encounters. Light carries information, and information expands systems so that old systems can no longer exist. So as light moves to destroy, it also births new systems by what it leaves behind. A new order is formed. Some of you find it difficult to think of yourselves as destroyers because you have a belief system about destruction. It is a paradigm, and if you get stuck in that vibration and do not smash those ideas, you will become very confined and restricted in experiencing reality. Yes, you are definitely destroyers. You destroy systems where the dark team and ignorance prevail. Light goes in to destroy all systems, and the experience of destruction is relative to how strong or with what fervor consciousness clings to what is being destroyed. Who is going to bail you out when the going gets rough? Where is the rescue team? You are it. In order to have this transformation take place, you must use what you have to bring it about. There is incredible assistance from all kinds of realms. However, it all depends on you, not us. You are going to change the frequency simply by commitment, determination, and willpower. Discover what you are in your physical body, because it is your outreach of power here. Learn to direct and use it and become one with it by carrying light inside of your body. You bring that frequency onto the planet, and that frequency has information. The frequency of light contains the history of your identity and the history of your particular consciousness. As we have said, that consciousness was scattered from your database or cellular structure because those who came in to be your gods could not control you if you had the same abilities they did. So they did the biogenetic experimentation and mutation that has been called the fall. That was when the ignorance of the human species became more predominant. They performed many different experimentations, which went on for a very long period of time. Light represents the putting together of what has been asundered. And to perform that task, all you have to do is be. As you are, and as you evolve yourself and let your own personal life evolve, truly you are to take for granted that all the other members of light are evolving as you are. You send your telepathic broadcast out that your presence is here, much as we always say to you, we are here. We are also members of the family of light, and we bring information with us and broadcast it everywhere. There is a need for each of you to examine the boundaries you have set around yourself. You believe that you have evolved, that you have a large picture, and that you see many things, and relative to where you have journeyed from, indeed you have made progress. However, we guarantee you that you are not seeing the boundaries that you presently set for yourself, which still defines what you believe you can and cannot do. They are what tethers you to this version of frequency or reality. In a short period of time, there will be great need to realize which people are really keepers of the frequency and which are just talking about it. The keepers of frequency are going to be called upon to create a certain stability upon this planet, for they know 100% of the time that they create their reality. They learn how to defy the laws of humanity by conscious direction of their awareness and energy. This is the depth of impeccability and commitment we are speaking of.